Hey everyone, this is Mukesh Otwani once again from learn-automation.com. Today in this video, I will be talking about one of the most important plugin that I'm using from a couple of years is Selectorshub. Yes, if you have never used it, then you must watch this video till the end, because throughout the video, I will be talking about so many features about this plugin which can actually increase the productivity. You will save a lot of your script development time, and there's few features which actually will help you to understand what is the logic behind it. Okay, so watch the video till the end. Very crisp video, but very important one for every automation tester. It doesn't matter whether using Selenium, Cypress, Playwright, WebDriver, IO, Puppeteer. Take any automation tool, you need locators. And yes, Selectors Hub, as the name says, Selectors Hub, it will help you with the selectors. So let me show you what exactly this plugin can do for you. It can do wonders if you use it very productively. And it is invented by one of my friends, Sanjay Kumar. He's the same guy who actually developed the CrowPath. So if you're still using CrowPath, then you should definitely try Selectors Hub, because it has more features which is not available in CrowPath. Yeah. So let me quickly show you how to install this plugin. What are the advantages you can get? What are the features it has? And if you face any issue, you can reach out to me and reach out to Sanjay directly. And I will give his details in the description in the first comment of this video. And yeah, he's very active on the social media, so feel free to reach out to him anytime. So let's say I want to automate one application. Okay, it doesn't matter which automation tool I'm using or which library I'm using. I need selectors. Now, if you're completely new to automation, then you can watch out my previous videos. I discussed a lot of topics about automation, different tools. So as of now, I'm assuming that you are comfortable with automation tools, and now you need locators. So this is the official page that you can use, selectorshub.com, and now Sanjay has multiple actually tools. Okay, I'm going to talk about Selectors Hub. It also have a pro version as well. We'll use the community one. It also has like selectorshub.com has Test Case Studio, Testing Daily, Test Case Hub, and so on. We'll talk about other plugins maybe in the upcoming videos. Let's start with XPath plugin. It's not only the XPath plugin. It will also generate CSS and a couple of other details. Now it is available for Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Opera, Brave browser, Safari, Chromium, and Tor browsers as well. Okay, so depends on which program, which browser you're using, you can use this particular plugin. I will show you with Chrome, but feel free to use any other browser. And if you face an issue, reach out to me or Sanjay. So if I click on install, it will redirect me to Chrome Web Store. So if you don't want to go from the website, you can directly head over to Chrome Web Store and start using it. You can see it's one of the featured plugin and officially recommended by Selenium. If you go to official Selenium website, you will find a recommendation for Selectors Hub. It has more than 1 lakh user and definitely worth giving a try. Now every tool, every plugin have updates. So in future, if you want to see what new is coming in Selectors Hub, then you can subscribe to Sanjay's channel. You can find the video link, go to his channel, subscribe, so you will get updates like what is coming next, or if any existing bugs he will fix and update. Okay, so let's continue. Let's quickly install this plugin and let's see how we can use it. So as usual, click on add to Chrome and it will take hardly a few seconds, and yeah, it will be installed. Now this is actually another plugin which is Test Case Studio. We'll talk about Test Case Studio in maybe some other video, but right now that Selectors Hub has been installed. If you see here, you can't see, but if you click on this extension, you will find Selectors Hub. So you can click on this pen icon so that you can start seeing this with all the other extensions. Now once it is done, we are good to go. So let me take any application that you want to automate and let's see how we can use it. So let me take any application. Let's say this Orange HRM. Guys, please feel free to use any application. It is not dependent on any application. Yep. So let's say I'm using this application, which is Orange HRM. It's again a CRM application. So if you are starting your automation journey, you can use it. Very good application. You will find a lot of scenarios. So after login, you have the admin section. Okay, you can create users, delete user, update users, search, the couple of modules. So let me log out. Let me show you from the scratch. So if I right click and click on inspect, you can find Selectors Hub here. See, this is how I have configured. but in your case it would be like this, okay, somewhat here. So when you install first time, you will not see Selectorshub directly in this panel. So in order to continue, you have to use these two arrows, more tabs, and then you will find Selectorshub. Then you will be finding Selectorshub here, and to make it like very obvious, I will drag and drop to the first tab so that I don't have to keep on clicking on this. This is my permanent place where I can configure it. So in order to start, you can click on this icon, okay, and now you can inspect any element. So let's say I inspected this username, so it's highlighting here and it's highlighting here as well. Now generally what you do, if you don't have any plugin, you will press Ctrl F or Command F, depends whether you're using Mac or Windows. For Windows, Ctrl F, for Mac it's Command F. Here you can write your XPath or any selector and it will show you whether it's matching or not, right? You can also write your XPath here and you can verify. So the first feature of Selectorshub, you can verify your XPath whether it's valid or not, whether it's actually matching with the element or not. But before I start this video, there are a lot of confusion that people says why you are recommending this plugin, because in interviews they will not allow you to take the help of any extension. So I totally agree. So you should understand first of all how to write locators, okay? You should understand how to write XPath, how to write CSS selectors, different ways of writing XPath and different way of writing CSS. But once you're comfortable, right, if you take the help of plugins, it can actually increase your productivity, because instead of writing the same XPath again and again, better to take advantage. And it will also give you some suggestions as well, like what are the other alternatives you can use. So for interview perspective, yes, you should understand and be comfortable with the syntaxes, because they might ask you to write XPath for such scenarios, CSS selector for such scenarios. That time you can't use this, but once you start working, definitely you can start using it. And even while working, even if you're an experienced guy, sometimes you make a small mistake, okay, that can actually waste your one day as well. I've seen many people, they're struggling with XPath, but when I checked their XPath, there was a small syntax issue. So let me show you. I'm assuming you're comfortable with XPath and CSS. If not, then I will link my two videos where I discussed about XPath and CSS selectors. Yeah. Now let's say I want to identify this element, which is input tag. So I will say /input. The moment I put bracket here, you can see list of auto suggestion. This is the one of the great feature that is giving me suggestion that Mukesh, you can use name, you can use placeholder, you can use contains function of XPath, you can use contains with placeholder, you can use class, last position, and so on. But I will show you this part again. For the time being, let's say I want to use one of the name attribute and the value is username, and close it. So right now it says one matching element, it's highlighting here as well. Yeah, and you can see along with this I'm getting other options as well, that you can also use this, which is actually a placeholder. You can also use CSS selector, you can use relative XPath, index based XPath, and this is for the test trigger. So you can verify XPath, and once you can see it's matching with your element, you can continue. That is the first feature. Instead of verifying directly in the console, you can verify, it will give you unique results. Now suppose if I make one mistake here and if I hit enter, it will give you its invalid selector, right? And it says single quote is missing. For example, let me convert this into XPath again, and if I make it, it says invalid XPath, single quote is missing. So that is the advantage that you are getting here, that before actually using this, you got to know something is wrong from the selector side. But suppose if a beginner, if you are still using this approach, it says 0 of 0. It means it's not able to find, but it's not giving you any suggestion, right, that what went wrong. But here upfront you got to know my XPath is not valid, and you'll fix, then started using it. So the first feature, you can verify, okay, and if it is invalid, it will show you. If it is valid, it's still not showing you the matching nodes, it means you need to again change the locator. Second part, as I mentioned, you can get the auto suggestion. The moment you put bracket, list of auto suggestion will be given to you, and you can see which one you can use it. It is also giving you count, right? 1 1 1, this is 2 2, this is 3 3. So basically it's a great help for someone who is just getting started. They don't know what other methods we have. Great help. So let's say if I go with placeholder, still matching. So how it is actually using it, let me show you. So you can see initially we took this username from the name attribute, then we use placeholder, and if you want to use class, you can use class as well. Now suppose if I want to take class, I can write my own XPath and I can verify here. Okay, so suppose this is my class name. I will say / input. I will use contains, and you can see it's giving me auto suggestion. Now it's adding few extra brackets, so let me remove it. Yes, now you can see with this class there are two matching elements, right, which is basically username and password, and it is showing you, and you will get the element details from here as well. See, the moment I click on it, this one is highlighting, and if I click on the second one, password is getting highlighted. And let's say now let me try with one CSS as well. So if I write input, see, list of auto suggestion for CSS as well. This is very important because as a human you might not remember what dollar does, what star does, when to use upper arrow, right? So again, this list can be a great help. So if you are someone who like to write CSS, start using it. So let's say if I use name equal to username, it's highlighting, and if I make any simple mistakes, it says invalid CSS selector. For XPath it was showing invalid XPath, right? Now suppose if you don't use this and start using directly, you will be getting exception in Selenium that invalid selector. So again, that time you will realize, okay, something went wrong with my locators, and again you will start using it. Now before I start showing you the new feature or very interesting feature, let me talk about one problem statement. You can take this application, log in with admin123, and if I go to admin section, if I click on add, you will see there's one field called employee name. If I let's say type A, you can see I'm getting a list of 5 suggestions, right? Now let's say I want to click on this Lisa. The moment I right click, that options are getting disappeared, right? Let me show you once again. If I write A again, and I want to write XPath for this Cecil, again right click, this option is getting disappeared. So what we can do in this case, again you can use Selectorshub. So in Selectorshub you will see this option called click to customize your UI, and here actually the debugger start timer is set to 0. I change it to 5, and I will tell you why. So in order to overcome this, I can use debugger. So what this debugger will do, the debugger will start, and after 5 seconds debugger will start, and it will stop the complete execution. Then you can inspect any element and you can continue. I'm just taking this application, but you can take any application. If you have this kind of scenarios, this can be a great help. Let me show you. Can you see this icon? Turn on debugger. Let me type A, start this debugger. Type A again. I got the list of options and the debugger started. Now these options will not fade away. If you go back to this, click on this inspect. Now you can easily inspect and start using it. So if I see this is a div tag with role equal to options. So suppose I want to write the XPath for, let's say, Peter. I know this is the text. I can write find a span tag where text is equal to Peter. Yes, bingo. We are able to find the element. Initially it was getting disappeared. The moment you right click, But now since we have started the debugger, now you can play with any element and you can continue. Must feature that you should give a try. Now if you don't want to use this plugin, still you can do. In that case you have to go to source and you have to start the debugger from here. But personally sometimes this debugger doesn't work because it starts after some time. But in Selectors Hub we have an option that after how many seconds you want to stop the debugger. Okay, start the debugger, sorry. Now let me show you one more important feature, and this will actually blow your mind because you will not understand that why it is happening at a first glance. But when you see from Selectors Hub, you will get to know what exactly issues you might get when you start running a script. Okay, so let me show you. Just head over to Yahoo email, and if you open their official site, you can see this checkbox, right? So it looks a very normal checkbox that you will find this and you will click on it, but there's a small catch. So you can pause this video, go to this application and try to click on this checkbox. You will end up getting one exception. Let me know what exception you are getting so that I can give you another fix. But if I show you right away, right click and click on inspect, go to Selectors Hub, again inspect. So click on this. See, it's highlighting this one. Let me highlight this guy. See, it's not even highlighting because there's some issue with this checkbox. Let's say I forcefully write the XPath for this. Can you see this? Input. So generally radio button checkboxes, these are input tags, right? So ID equal to persistent. So if I try to write XPath, that find an input tag which has ID equal to persistent. It says one matching node, right? It's highlighting as well, but there's a small warning coming from Selectors Hub. It says this element is not interactable through Selenium as it is not visible in the UI. Try any nearby element. So what is happening? You will be getting the exactly same exception, if I'm not wrong, element not clickable exception when you start clicking on this, and this exception you got to know in advance when you are doing from Selectors Hub. So you can also see that try any nearby element. I can use this stay signed in and it will work, but this checkbox have issue. I want you to give a try. I want to see what is your finding. As I can see, it's visible on the UI, but still it will throw you one exception. So let me know your thought on this and I will make a dedicated video on this as well. Now coming back to two more feature which I personally like is about in advance you will get to know that your elements are in a frame, and it will give you the code as well how you can switch to the frame. It can also help you that your elements is in the shadow DOM or not, and again it will give you the code snippet that how you can handle the shadow DOM. For example, let's say there's one text box called username. If I right click on this and inspect, you can see it's actually coming inside a shadow root, right? So if you want to work with this, first of all you have to use shadow DOM, then only you can access this. If you come to Selectors Hub, it will tell you in advance that it is in a shadow DOM. This element is inside shadow DOM which cannot be accessed through XPath. So use CSS selector. So it's giving you two hints. One, it's saying it's inside a shadow DOM, and shadow DOM does not support XPath, so you have to use CSS selectors. So start using. If you're completely new to shadow DOM also, let me know, I can make a video, but this is my assumption that you're comfortable with shadow DOM and the iframe. Okay, and you can see this code snippet as well. I can copy this. It's giving you the code snippet as well that how you can switch to the shadow DOM. Same thing you can do for frame as well. For example, let's say this is my first college. Now there's one more important feature. See, shadow root, but it is closed. So shadow DOM with closed state cannot be automated. Okay, it can be automated with a small tweak, but not recommended. So shadow root, if it is open, you can handle it. Shadow root closed, you cannot. If you have the code access, in that case you can do that, but generally not. Now if you see it has a frame, right? So again it is giving me one information that this element is inside a frame. Switch to frame, then only you can access. So if you have a single frame, nested frame, nested frame, you can do that easily. Okay, so it's giving a hint, it is giving you the snippet as well, that how you can handle shadow DOM and how you can switch to the frame as well. Yeah, so there are so many features that you can use of Selectorshub, but these are just few. So you can write your XPath, you can verify XPath, you can get the auto suggestions. If you make any syntax mistakes, it will tell you. Plus, if some element are not in an interactable state, it will give you warning, as we have seen in the Yahoo example, right? If elements are in a shadow DOM or iframe, it will tell you upfront. Not only XPath, if you see, mostly people use XPath, but you can use CSS as well. And with CSS, you will get multiple options. Sometimes people get confused with the CSS syntaxes, so this can be a great help. Okay, now few important questions. What if your company does not allow? Okay, let's say you're working with a secure environment where they don't allow any extension. In that case, you can first check with the IT team. You can mention that it's the official, it's officially recommended by Selenium, certified, everything, no issues at all. And if they can whitelist, you can start using it. Yeah, you can also start your Selenium script with Selectorshub plugin. That is my next video, so stay tuned. In the next video, I will show you that when you start working, how you can start your automation script with the extension of Selectorshub. Yeah, so if you like this video, please share with your friends, colleagues. It can actually help them as well, and it will help you as well. And I need your help. Subscribe to this channel if you need more videos of Selectorshub, because it has so many features that I can cover in a dedicated video altogether. So let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.